Good morning, Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World Network. I'm here with my beautiful soul sisters, Teri Angel and Deb Goldberg. We're bringing you a silent meditation today for a meditation a day. What that means is that we are going to be meditating off screen. Deb is going to play some beautiful music for you while you meditate in your own way. And then afterwards, we'll come back on in about 20-25 minutes and share out what we experienced during our meditation. So please make yourselves comfortable, sink into your own meditation, and we will see you very soon. Thank you for being here. And we're back. Thank you. So those of you that meditated, thank you so much for joining us. That was interesting, ladies. I'm still processing that. So the first thing that we saw was this angelic form in front of us, very large. And what was intriguing about it was it kept shifting, and it was different archangels coming in, shifting in. And what I realized was that it was the qualities of those archangels that we were to pay attention to: charity and strength and resilience, and all of these different fabulous qualities that we hold within ourselves, and that we can also count on the archangels to sort of make us stronger in. But then above that was this beautiful, lofty light angel. And the message from this angel was that all was well. And so we were watching this scene, and it was as if there was this freeze frame, that there was no movement in the world. It was just this step back and nothing's happening. I'm sort of at a loss for words of how to describe this, that we were called to be the observer. And we talked about prayer and the purpose of prayer during all of this. And Deb, you brought up silent servitude. Do you want to talk about that for just a minute, please?
Sure. I had a message from God the other day about not just looking at doing things in service, because we all think of service as about doing something to help somebody or bring something forth or whatever. It's more of an action. But what he was talking to me about was that silent servitude, and redefining what servitude is. That servitude in the dictionary says slavery, but he said servitude is an attitude, and it's an attitude about the service that you're providing, and that it can be a silent service. You're in service to in a silent way, which can be much more powerful than actually in an action way. That you're holding a space of love and prayer, and that this affects the whole in maybe more of a powerful way than actually doing things all the time. So I was just being asked to look at that and understand, expand my idea of what service is, and that, and I guess monks and other people do that in different religions. Their life is about prayer and holding a space. So he was just helping me understand that it can be that as well, without living a monk's life, that you can do this within yourself and not always have to feel like you have to do something to be in service.
Okay, thank you. And Teri, we also talked about getting ready to explore. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
This is what it feels like right now for all of us. We're at a place where we're kind of in a holding pattern. Just envision like an airport where the plane has to kind of go around a couple of times before it can land. And this is what that feeling is right now. We're like hovering and just waiting. And I love that Deb brought up when we can just wait a minute when something's going on, that we can go into changing our perspective about what we're seeing. And when we're in that exploration mode, when we're in that mode of what could be, just changing that perspective a little bit, the whole world opens up to you and things begin to look different. And you can see something that might have been irritating, something that might have not have been in alignment with your energy. You can look at that in a different way and look at it with an open mind instead of limiting it to what it could be, what it appears to be, letting it open up, just like a flower opening from the bud. When you see the bud, it's not that pretty. I mean, it can be, depending on how you're looking at it. But when it starts to blossom and open up, then you see the true beauty behind it. So it's just that pause, being the observer, pausing and looking at what's the best possible way I can look at this situation, this person, this object. And it feels to me like that's where we're in right now. That's the world we're in, is waiting. And I know the action steps are going to come. We will know. We'll know the divine timing of it all when we're supposed to take a step forward. And that's something that I'm experiencing in my own life right now in my journey, is hearing that instruction, hearing that very clear message. It's time to take a step. And we can all tune in to that in our own hearts, in our own spiritual world. We can ask our higher self, is this time? Am I supposed to be taking that step, or just waiting, just stepping back? So that's the whole feeling I'm getting in the world right now. We're all in that holding pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like, to me, it felt like everybody's holding their breath, waiting to see what happens next, as we embark on the fall and all of that, what that brings, all the changes, the energy that changes in school opening, or whether you do that in school, out of school, work. So everything kind of ramps up in the fall energy, but it feels like we're all holding our breath right now and saying, okay, what's going to happen next? And can I stay in faith and trust that whatever's happening next is going to be good?
And I was seeing too the importance of prayer right now. This time where everything's sort of on hold, that freeze frame, and the importance of prayer, of bringing prayer in now to, and as Deb says, focus on the good, that everything is in divine order. But I also know that God hears prayers, and time to like get a prayer in there and say, okay, let's shift. can we change how this is going to play itself out, and truly just help humanity at this point? So the importance of prayer. Deb, you had a beautiful, you've got a beautiful bush outside your window. What was the message that came into you from this rose bush?
Sure. Well, we were meditating. I just happened to be looking out my window, and I have rose bushes, and they're all blooming. They're all open. They're beautiful red roses. And a butterfly was, a couple of them were on the roses. And I was just watching how the rose was just being still, being its beautiful self, not doing anything but what it's supposed to do. And here comes the butterfly, taking from it what it needs in its stillness, in the rose's stillness and beauty. And then the butterfly can fly off and just took what it's need. And like what Teri was saying, is adding on to that, is that it's like all of us, we're taking what we need, and then we don't have to ravish the whole rose. We take what is in alignment with us, and then we move on to something else, like the butterflies or even the hummingbird, that it just comes and takes a little bit of what it needs, and then it moves on to something else. And that's kind of what this space feels like right now, is like we're the rose, we're sitting there, except a lot of us are holding our breaths. We can let go of that breath. And tying into your prayer, Ruth, is quiet servitude is prayer. And so we can be like the rose and be in our beauty and trust, and be in that quiet prayer. We're servicing ourselves and everyone else in that moment. And then exploring, as you said, Teri, is that we're like the butterfly. We're going to go to the next flower, will come along. It will show up in our experience, and let's make it beautiful. Let's have the perception of beauty in our life and joy, not just for our life, but the whole world. And that's what the prayer needs to become, is joy and beauty, abundance for the whole world.
And I'm reminded again of that angel that we saw at the top that was just light and airy and joy, love. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. It's a fascinating meditation this morning. So we encourage you to stay with us, please. We're going to be back on at the top of the hour with the session called Tenacious Leadership and Heeding Your Calling. And we are profiling Niobe Weaver, Karen Palmer, and Summer Joy Raymer. So we did pre-record this because of everybody's schedule. Here on Enlightened World Network, we always try to do things live, but for this series of Tenacious Leadership, because of everybody's being on different time zones, we are indeed pre-recording these. So please come back in 20 minutes, join us and listen in. And we're so thankful to you for what you are bringing to the world. Thank you for stepping in your own truth. Thank you for listening to spirit and coming out, because folks need you. The world needs divine love. The world needs us to hold the world in space and just love it right now. Prepare for the good and just hold it in love. And with that, we hold you in love and we thank you for being here. So Teri and Deb, thank you. And we'll see you soon.